Lucas Johnson was ready to accept his fate no matter what, and as the credits rolled on tonight's offering of the BBC One soap, the EastEnders legend was violently attacked in prison, leaving viewers wondering if he ultimately met his demise. But just how did the serial killer end up behind bars? Well, it's a long story, and one that transpired over the course of tonight's 2 installments of the serial drama. Last night, Lucas left viewers convinced that he'd double-crossed daughter Chelsea Fox, after he'd swapped the suitcases at airport security. Picking up from this tense moment, we found Chelsea panicking as the security guard examined her case. In spite of her fears, no drugs were found, leaving her, and the viewers, confused about what her dad was up to. Lucas, meanwhile, placed his own case on the floor, much to the dismay of the airport staff, and he unzipped it to reveal all the drugs he had in his possession. Instead of double-crossing his daughter, he'd saved her. But just what was he intent on doing? That was the question that puzzled an irate Chelsea, who worried that sinister Caleb was going to seek murderous revenge. Lucas had a plan to prevent such a thing happening. However, and therefore he got in touch with Jack Branning, and instructed him to speak to Pastor Lawrence, who later provided the former copper with enough evidence to put Caleb and his men behind bars. Jack used the evidence to his advantage, and the second of tonight's 2 visits of Walford saw the police round up the drug dealer's men. Caleb, however, was nowhere to be seen. That's where Chelsea came in. Having received a text from Caleb, the young woman headed to meet with him. Caleb was livid, and violently punched her. Little did he know that Chelsea, having learned from her mistakes, had called in Jack, who arrived with several officers to take the nasty dealer away once and for all. The nightmare, as it were, was over. Lucas, delighted that all had gone to plan, thanked Jack for his assistance, and instructed him to look after Denise. Jack was insistent that Lucas be moved to a more secure unit, as Caleb and his men would no doubt want revenge on him, but the preacher remained steadfast in his position, claiming that he had God on his side. All was right in the Truman Fox household, that's for sure, as Jack and Denise got engaged. In prison, however, Lucas found himself the victim of a brutal attack, which was carried out by 2 men who worked for Caleb. With Lucas's latest stint in the BBC One soap having apparently reached its end, is it safe to assume that the killer has met his demise? Or, like Vincent Hubbard's, and Den Watch circa 1989, brush with death, will this question be one that remains unanswered for quite some time?